Okay, so back at it, round two. Last week was a big win for team building, and Team Chris here suffered a devastating defeat and failure. And yeah, I did not get as much done as I wanted last week, so decided to make a two-part video, and today we're actually gonna get to see the final result. What do they say? If you wanna be a success, fail early and fail often. I'm gonna be the most successful person ever because I got the failing part under control. So, but I came in early this morning and it's just now getting bright enough to work in here, and I'm gonna put a major push on today. And we're gonna have a result today. One way or another, there's gonna be a result. So, all right, let me get to it. So I moved about half of this yesterday into the room right there. And just moving and stacking that took, well, I guess I'd say well over an hour. So many people are saying, well, you need a fork truck, you need a materials handler, it'll save you all kinds of time. And yeah, that's right, it would save me a lot of time. But there are about 20 different pieces of large equipment that I could use around here. And for me, if I had to pick one at the moment, I do have like a big Ford 5000 tractor, which I can use out on the property, so that's under control. If I could pick one piece of heavy equipment, it would be a bucket truck. There is so much work to do around all of the windows on the second and third floor, all of the roofing stuff, everything that's going on with, you know, the major building projects. I'll need a bucket truck for that. So that's number one on my list. If you recall in a previous video, there's a fork truck out there which runs on propane, but it's backfiring. I'm not mechanically inclined at all. So I'm thinking that's gonna go, and I'm gonna buy something that I can, like, you know, turn a key and it actually works. So without having to educate myself on another area that I have no idea about. So in the meantime, right now, old-fashioned style, just moving things by hand. Okay, that took way longer than I wanted it to. One interesting thing is that the number of boards in that pile is divisible by 6, so I'll be able to calculate how many I have. If I do an average length, I should be able to calculate coverage on there. So, oh my gosh. It's just like step A for A through X today. Okay, so got this end down here cleared out, and the next major obstacle is all of this barnwood. I got this from my Uncle Kent in Sullivan, Illinois, and I went to the time of pulling his old barn down and pulling this stuff out because I thought I'd be able to use it, but reality has kind of set in. I've got enough projects going on, so that is all going to go in the auction. So Uncle Kent, if you want to buy that back, come to the auction. So okay, yeah, let's get this barnwood out of the way. All right, that brings me to 2 items that are, I would say, in the top, some of my favorite things that actually came with the building. So let me show this to you. And they are these really old, very heavy-duty industrial carts. And people do make industrial carts for, you know, if they're doing their home or their business in a industrial theme. But the modern stuff is like made to imitate real industrial stuff. And this is real industrial stuff. So let me put the phone down here for a second. This thing in particular is the perfect size for like a kitchen island. So I mean, with about a 1.5, 2 inch tabletop here made out of concrete, granite, who knows, maybe even an oak countertop. It's perfect. So this thing is made from I-beams. No, not C-channel, they're I-beams. And so they've got these voids here on every one of the surfaces. And so my idea or my thinking is to get like some really nice hardwood and inlay it in there, cut it at 45, for example. But yeah, do that all the way around in all of those voids. And yeah, then put a concrete countertop on it, clean it up. I don't think that I would, I mean, I would just clean it off and then put a coat of like flood penetrol on it, which is like a clear coat, and leave it industrial looking. If somebody wanted to, they could potentially paint it, but that would be a crime in my book. If it had a concrete countertop that was like acid stained and dyed or acid stain colored, it would be spectacular island. And then this thing is basically the same thing. The I-beam that they used is a little bit smaller in the measurements, but that bottom there could have like an oak bottom and then oak shelves across each one of those. And that could be either like a bookshelf, or it could be a liquor shelf if that's your thing, or a Kool-Aid shelf, who knows? But yeah, like super industrial stuff, and it could even be a matching set once it's all done. So I think that's a great candidate for a future video project. So I don't know when I'll be able to get around to that because I've got so much, you know, stuff in the building that has to be done. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that project for sure. All right. Whoa. Okay, so we got all the stuff that was over here on the right side. And it is clean as a whistle. Wouldn't you agree? And I did notice something right over here. Some old tongue depressors. Definitely gonna salvage those. Okay, filming from a low angle because I'm getting pretty far along in the cleaning process and I want to save the reveal till the end. But it's time to move these large apothecary cabinets. I've got 4 of them, and there are 2 bottoms and 2 tops. And I don't know if you can see how tall these are. I'm exactly, whoops, don't want to show you that. I'm 6 feet tall, and this is almost shoulder height for me. So the size and scale of these things is so impressive. They are gigantic. They look like they belong in some kind of institution or something. So yeah, so then there's, you know, once you put these up here, up on top of those, I think they're like probably close to 10 feet tall. No, maybe not. Maybe 9 feet tall. But I'll know once I get them put back together, so. That was dumb. Okay. I put it on both rollers on one end. There we go. Okay, quick question. So the back of both of the apothecaries over there has kind of some extensive warping of the material on the back. So yeah, it's pretty extensive. And my question is, should I just go ahead and remove this and do a new one? Because this is the part that is against the wall. Nobody will see it. And I was thinking about just doing an honest repair. And by that, I mean like a repair that doesn't look like it's trying to hide anything, just is fixing it and making it functional again. I almost always tend to favor leaving things in the original condition, but this is kind of extensive. And the other problem is that it's kind of visible from the inside. So what do you guys think? Should I just tack it back up and leave as it is, or should I pull that off and put a new back on there and then stain it to match the rest? Okay, now that I got that out, that's what it looks like with the glass in it. And the tops also have glass, which are right there. So when it's all together, it's super gigantic, and it has that old school wavy glass. And yeah, I'll be getting these whipped into shape just like I did the other one at some point, and I'll post a video and share that with you guys as well. So okay, so just got these moved over and out of the way. These things are so heavy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the first time those things have been moved in a while. And I had to get my brother to come over and help me just pick them up the 6 inches or whatever to get them on the dolly. Oh, okay. Last piece. One giant barn worth of barnwood. I don't know, one giant pile of barnwood moved by hand. One thing is for sure, that is gonna stay right where it's at until I get my fork truck. So, or maybe if it sells in the auction, whoever buys it can load it themselves. So. Okay, so got a lot of the stuff in here. We got the boards, the old barn, and here are the big metal insulated panels that hopefully somebody's gonna take and bolt together to make like a sandblasting shed or a tool shed or something like that. So there's like 6 of them, which means 4 walls, a roof, and an extra one. So now I've got a whole bunch of this torch down roofing that needs to go in there. And I'm hoping that I have enough space. I've also got some insulated flexible conduit and some other things, and I'm just going to pack it as full as I can to make the largest possible impact out here in the bay. That's one. Okay, so that's the last roll of the modified bitumen torch down. And now we just have this tar paper and these rolls of fiberglass underlayment. So, yeah. Okay. Finally got it. And there it is. Whoa. So, yeah, that's a snug fit. That is a snug fit. This room was made for just exactly this stuff in this quantity. So each of these rolls took about 2 minutes on average to go over there, load them up, get them centered on the dolly, bring them over, and position them just right so that we could get them all fit in here. And so 2 minutes at like, what is it, like 130 rolls or so? You can do the math. It took a long time. Everything you see here has been loaded by hand over the last couple of days. So it's not the only thing I was doing for the last couple of days. So yeah, this place keeps you on your toes. And ding, 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 ding. You hear that? That's the sound of my YouTube notification saying that I have comments telling me that I need a dang pallet jack and I need a fork truck. And what the heck am I doing? And I have one thing to say to that, and that's heck yeah, I need one of those. I do, I really need that stuff. And hopefully it's in my future here before too long. So I have that old fork truck in the front. It's backfiring. I need to have an old timer come over and look at it and tell me how to get it running again. But in the meantime, I have to make progress. I have to keep going. And this place is getting done one way or another. So if I have to do it the long, hard way, I'm going to do that. And then as soon as I can, I'm going to try to work smarter, not harder. And so please spare me a little bit on the comments. I know I need that stuff. And it is in my future. So, okay. Last thing I wanted to talk to you about right before the big reveal. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to move around kind of quick. I need to get the scaffolding down and all of this stuff taken out. And then I have a major like hour-and-a-half sweeping session to do. And that'll be really quick for you. As a matter of fact, it's going to happen right now. So if you've been around the channel for any time, any length of time at all, you know that we've had lots of problems with kids doing the Scooby-Doo thing, coming on the property, breaking into the building. And yeah, so we've done a lot of work about that. We got cameras up everywhere. We're capping and sealing the windows all around the lower building. But there are a lot of hazards and dangers and places that kids could get hurt. So I really want to do everything I can to keep them out of here. One of the things that I brought up with the city when I called them was that we have the bases for the old water tower that was removed. Right over there, let's see if I can zoom in on that. And this is where a gigantic water tower stood. It pressurized all of the water in the building to get up to the 3rd floor sprinkler system. And decades and decades and decades ago, it was removed. There's a trap door on top of each one of those pylons there. And this one is about half full or 3/4 full, and that one's pretty much empty. It's got a bunch of pipes and valves and random stuff in there. But if any kids are playing on that thing, they can fall in. So I asked if it would be okay if I go ahead and fill that in. And they said, yeah, if it reduces a hazard in the community and it's part of the process of getting the place cleaned up, then they didn't have anything against me doing that. So I don't want to throw like just all kinds of garbage and stuff in there. But as I'm cleaning out today, I do have piles and piles and piles of this stuff all over the building. And this is kind of, you know, fine particulate, little stuff that will pack down really well in there. So I'm gonna sweep all these piles up and put them out there into those pylons. We've also got a whole bunch of this, as you know. And yeah, I'll be crushing that up and putting that in there too. Being careful not to show my reveal there. It's all got to go somewhere. It's all got to go somewhere. So I got to get out of here. Pile, 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 pile. So, okay, I'm gonna get all this swept up, and that's it. We're gonna have a look at it. So, hope I'm not overhyping and under-delivering. Okay, this toilet is damaged and cannot even be gifted to Habitat for Humanity. It's all cracked. So it's going in. Got a little ahead of me. I wanted to break it down further. That stuff shoots out at like 1,000,000 miles an hour. Just figuring out how to dismantle that. I think I need a screwdriver to pry the little safety latch off. So apparently I was wrong. Those are kind of spring loaded, so you just kind of tap the little catch lever and it pops off. So I didn't get the base out, and I'm gonna get this whole thing out of here. I think I'm gonna err on the side of caution and lay it down to take it apart. Done. Got it. That was the first thing. That was the first time doing something like that. Okay. Hide that little stuff there. I'm done. It has been 5 days. And if you recall, last week I said to myself, I'm going to challenge myself to clean this entire bay out in a single day. And it's 5 days later, and I am completely exhausted. Super dirty, and yeah, but I'm proud of myself because I got it done. I just stuck with it, and I was on a time schedule too, which made it more stressful because I wanted to be able to upload a good building project this week. So yeah, hope I didn't oversell it. But are you ready for the big reveal? This is what we started with. And here's where we're at now. Yeah. This thing is a gigantic space. Just down to that wall right there is about I would say 150 feet. And then from that overhead door, moving the camera super slow for you, to this door, gotta scoop that up. That goes to the recycling. That'll be gone super soon here. Yeah, this entire segment here is about 200 feet. So I could make a roller skating rink in here, because we all know how those businesses are thriving these days, right? One word. Nope. So you know how they say when you're all alone and there's nobody around to see what you're doing, that's when you're truly yourself. Oh, my hip. Just kidding. One thing that's really nice, a great feeling about getting this place cleaned out is that I can kind of sense now, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath. I can kind of sense now what it's gonna be like to have a blank canvas here to work with. I'll be able to move my scaffolding around, get that stuff out. I'll be able to actually work in here and get some improvements going. So, you remember the Wizard of Oz when they pull the curtain back and he's like, "Don't look back there, don't look back there." Or like when the tornado goes through Kansas, that's this place. So I'm gonna clean all this out too, but I'm gonna save you guys and spare you that one clean out video is enough for the moment. Last thing I need to do is get a shop vac in here and clean all this out. I have an insulation blower upstairs, an old one, actually two of them. And they have this hose that the insulation would go through that you'd blow into an attic. And I think I can rig that up to the shop vac so I can vent out all of the dust. So that's the last thing. And then at some point, I'm gonna figure out what to do about cleaning this because it is absolutely filthy. So, yeah, it can't stay like that. So people have suggested sandblasting the top. I think if I stay away from that wood up there, that I can put a plastic barrier over that wall and a few other places, you know, the windows, plastic them up, and then spray all the brick walls and all the concrete floor. There are some drains along the floor here, so I can start slow and see how that goes. But then I need to figure out what to do about cleaning all that. I'm thinking power washing because there are areas in the building with exactly that wood that were under a leaky roof for decades, and they seem to be all right. It's really old, tight grain wood. And I think if I just briefly hit it, and then I have fans in here going, like multiple industrial fans blowing air, I might be able to get away with spraying that off too. If you have an idea what I should do to clean that out, if you think I'd be okay doing that, let me know. That'll be a major project, but this place is gonna be beautiful someday. I can't wait. So thanks guys for coming along on this journey with me, and I'll see you again soon on the next video. Talk to you Thursday. Bye-bye.